Hey y'all, it's me, Cody. Welcome to the CodiKnits podcast. This is episode 109, and I'm Cody. I have a little bit of a different background. It's Memorial Day weekend, and I have been at my godparents' condo. They have a condo on Lake Lanier, and it's beautiful. And unfortunately, they're not here. And my aunt and uncle that live down the road from here, they went out of town. So it's been just me this weekend, and it's been nice. I wish they were here, but I've been relaxing a lot. I've been doing some knitting. Today I have to get some work done for school. Today is Memorial Day. And I really need to get ahead. My plans were to do a lot more of that over the weekend, but I just needed the downtime, I guess. I needed to just take a break before everything kind of gets in full swing. I have one class that already started, and I have two more classes that are officially starting. So I'm going to be really busy this summer, and because they only go through their 2 months, June and July. So yeah, I'm gonna be busy. Lots of things to do in a short period of time. But it's all good. I'm gonna get it done. But I wanted to come and do a podcast. I wanted to film where I have been 90% of the time since I've been here, and that is out on the deck. And I can't film out there, unfortunately. It's really windy. It had been up in the 90s, and then this weekend, it was been like 70s is the high. I think yesterday the high was 78. It was warmer, and then even this morning it's pretty chilly. Like I could have had this on outside and been fine. So yeah, and with the wind, and also there's a lot of people getting their boats out, and that causes the dock to move up and down, and you can hear that, and it wouldn't be enjoyable. And I don't use a microphone or anything, I just use the phone, so I can't really adjust the background noise. But I took a little clip of outside my view from the balcony, and I'll share that with you. And also, because I am inside, this is getting really warm. But as you can see, I've finished a couple of things, and I have been working on a couple of things, and I wanted to share them with you while I had a little bit of time before things got really crazy with school. I've been making myself take time to knit. And that's basically all I did all weekend was knit. I finished these before the weekend, but I've definitely brought knitting with me, and that's kind of pretty much all I've done, and it's been lovely. I'm enjoying my first cup of coffee this morning. I woke up really early because I was thinking if I get outside early enough before the boats, I could sit outside, but it's too windy to podcast. Now I'll go out there and knit for a little bit this morning, and then I'll also probably do schoolwork out there because there's a big table on the deck, and I can spread out, and it's just really nice, and I need to get me one of these one day. But it's too far from where I work to live up here. I would have to really find a new job and all that kind of stuff. So that's not in the cards right now, but it is beautiful. I always tell them if they ever want to sell the place, they need to make sure they talk to me first. I'll figure out a way to buy. But anyway, I do want to go ahead and get started because I need to take this off. I'm really hot. So, Diamond stayed at home with Kirby. I think I mentioned in the last podcast I'm going to be moving in the next couple of months, and she's getting all her Auntie Kirby time in that she can. And Kirby was staying home for the weekend, and she likes having the company there. So I'm happy to share her for now. And then we're gonna be living really close too. So anytime I need her to watch Diamond, if I'm gonna be gone for longer, for the whole day or something like that, she's gonna be right there. I can see her. I think Diamond's gotten a little used to having a permanent lap to lay in because Kirby has been working from home throughout the pandemic, and so Diamond lays in her lap all day. All day. So, yeah. But anyway, I finished something, finally finished my Montrealer. Is it perfect? No. It is a little bit big. Now, I did want it a little bit big, but it's a little bit bigger than I originally thought. I've had this on for probably a good 15 minutes, and it's a little bit scratchy. Not terrible. I would like it to be softer, though. I wouldn't want to keep this on neck because I just have a short sleeve shirt on under this. It's kind of scratchy. So I have not washed and blocked it yet. So I hope it softens up some with that. And I think I forgot the ball bands. Yeah, I did bring what it's supposed to look like. This is the Montrealer. I tried to look like this while I wear it too, but, c'est la vie. I miss having that much hair. I used to have long hair like that. But I just don't grow hair like that anymore. And then, so I wanted to tell you, I knit the 4th size. And that one is, let me see. It's the 44-inch chest circumference. I probably should have knit the 36 or the 40. But it's okay. I went up, I think I actually measured, and I should have knit the 36 chest circumference, but I went up thinking I didn't want it to be too snug. So it's my fault that it doesn't work. Also, I did not swatch. And when you first start, you're knitting flat, back and forth, and I got gauge with that. But then when I started knitting and around, my gauge changed. So, because what I was thinking when I did this is I'll just start knitting and then I will measure when there's enough fabric, and if the gauge is off, I'll just rip it back. And that's my gauge swatch plus starting. Well, I didn't take into account that when I first started, I was knitting flat. So, yeah. I think I was knitting flat. Did I just make that up? Hold on. Yeah, I just made that up. I wasn't knitting flat. I was knitting in the round. Oh, I know why I thought I was knitting flat. It's because you start doing some shaping for the back and you're doing short rows. So then I was knitting, but like back and forth. I wasn't knitting completely in the round. So that's why I thought that. But either way, it caused my doing those short rows. My gauge was different or whatever than whenever, like, say, the body. So I'll see if I can show you a little bit more. I have the pocket. I lined it in this blue. You can see I did the stripes. And like I said, it's the right length and everything. And I also had to modify because of my row gauge was also really long. So I had to modify. I had marked where the pocket should go, and then it says knit so many rows, and then you come back and you pick up stitches and knit the pocket, and then they kind of seam together at the ribbing. Well, it wasn't working because I didn't need as many rows to make the length that they suggested that's required to make the pocket deep enough. So what I had to do is go and calculate how many rows less that I knit downwise and move my pocket up. And I think that worked out pretty well because it's exactly where my hands would. I can't see what you're seeing because I have a privacy screen protector because of work. But yeah, it worked out well there. I think it's a good length. The arms are good. It's just big this way. I could fit a lot of me in there. Another thing, when I did the arms are one stripe or one row thicker. The stripes are one row thicker than the body because apparently I can't count. But I made sure to do it on both. By the time I realized it, I was done with a sleeve, and I was like, oh no, not doing another sleeve. So I just made sure they both of the sleeves matched, and they're close enough that you can't tell unless you get really close. And nobody needs to be that close to me right now. I did do the hood as well. It's still kind of curling in a bit, but maybe when I block it, it'll stop doing that. And also, I'm really lazy, and I was not about to knit an I-cord, so I bought drawstring. They're really inexpensive on Amazon. I think it was like $5, and that included shipping, and there was like 10 of these bad boys. So I just bought a drawstring. But yeah, Kirby helped me with the hood because of the way that it's constructed. You have to do some seaming, and I couldn't do it. I don't know why. I just couldn't. I couldn't seam it right. So anyway, but now I got to take this off because it's hot inside. I really hope this softens up in the wash. It's definitely keep you warm. But yeah, I hope it softens up in the wash, at least a little bit. And then a lot of people don't like this part. It's kind of like a raw edging, because you pick up to knit the hood, but you don't pick up those stitches. And I thought I did something wrong. Maybe I did, but I don't know. But I don't mind it. It seems like there should have been more stitches picked up through here. But I picked up the number it told me to, so I don't know. But I don't mind that because I don't really like things that like that. And because it's a hood, I don't wear the hood that often, and it kind of pulls it back anyway, so it's fine. Whatever. I'm not doing anything to it. I thought it'd be fun to use this because I had so much extra, the bright blue. This yarn, I think, I got it from Knit Picks. I think it's Wool of the Andes, and the dark charcoaly gray color is, I think it's called Penguin. And then the blue one is Sapphire Heather or something like that, and I can't remember which is which, but there's some kind of blue. But anyway, yeah, I'm pretty pleased to have that done, actually. I'm quite relieved. It went really fast when I first got it, started it. I think I was just so excited. But then once I realized it was going to be bigger than I had originally intended, I think I lost my mojo with it. But then I was like, I want to get it done. I just want to get it done. So yeah, that's that. I'm going to have another sip of my coffee. Every time I say that, I think of Miss Tilly Trout. I miss her little podcasts and just sitting down and having a chat with her. She'd always have a sip of tea. But yeah, she was sweet, sweet lady. I wish she would do another podcast like an update. Just sit down and show us what she's been doing. But I know she's got the little grandchildren. They're probably getting bigger now. And just enjoying her life, I'm sure. I also finished something else. So I did bring the thing for that. So I have this much left over of, this is Wolf Folk. And it's called Tind, T-Y-N-D. This is color number 13. It's 223 yards or 204 meters and 50 grams. And Kirby gave me this at her birthday and was like, hey, for my birthday, I want you to knit me this. She gave me the yarn to knit her something. And so I looked around and I came up with a couple of options. And we decided on the Storm Shawl by Joji Locatelli. So she had 5 or 6 skeins of this. I can't remember. But I used them all but that much. And I knit these using my Licka needles. I love the needles, hate the cord. But these are pretty good needles for the most part. I have an interchangeable set. They're not as pointy as I like. They're pretty good. But for plain knitting, these is great. But when you're needing to do any kind of yarn over, picking up lacy kind of stuff, it's a little difficult. Or knit front and back even was, it's a little harder because they're not pointy enough. But they're really great, especially I think for newer knitters, because they're slick enough, but they also aren't metal slick. So I think they're pretty decent, and they're actually really reasonably priced. So I just don't like the cord. I'm spoiled because of ChowGoo, but I was keeping that in this of my Fringe Supply Co. wax canvas bag, and I love this bag so much. Thank you for giving it to me. And so where's the shawl? Here it is. So this is it. Again, this is Joji's the Storm Shawl. Now I made it a lot bigger than hers. Oh, haven't clipped the haven't clipped the ends. I have woven them in, but I haven't clipped them. I tried to block this sucker, but it's way too big. And for my apartment. So it smells really good, but like I couldn't really pin out all the little, as a picot edge, I couldn't really pin them all out, and there's a lot. So yeah, but I really thought this was fun. All I did was keep repeating the sections. It's a little wrinkly now, but now I can finally give this to Kirby. I'm showing it to you. But it's really big. Yeah, it's definitely gonna wrap around a lot. It can wrap around a lot quite a few times. I mean, for me, I can wear it like this. It's so big. All I did was, I did another wedge section, which I thought I'd never finish the wedge section. I did an eyelet, and then I did a little bit of plain knitting in between, and then I did a drop stitch. And then to end it, I just knit a few rows of stocking stitch and then did the picot. I was afraid I was going to run out of yarn. But yeah, the shawl is great. It's really easily adaptable because of that. I think you can just keep repeating the sections until it's as big as you want it to be, or you run out of yarn. But yeah, I would definitely recommend that. It's a fun pattern, especially if you just knit it to the recommended size, because you get bored of just knitting and you get this fun little drop stitch band, and that's fun. And then you do that, and then you do a little bit more plain knitting, and you do a little eyelet row, a little bit of plain knitting, drop stitch band. So it also causes it to go fast because you want to get to the next section. So I would really recommend that. I think I've knit 2 or 3 of these now. But yeah, it's a good fingering weight shawl. Ooh, it smells so good. So, what else have I been knitting? That's all I've finished, but I've been knitting on my blanket. And I started putting stitch markers so I can remember which ones I haven't showed you. So this is some new ones. I finished that one. Got 2 of those. Finished those 2 since I've seen you last. And I finished these 2 since I've seen you last. So I do have 4 of those. So I got the other 2 here. So these are all done. So each, I should tell you, this is a little nitty I Quilt 2 lap blanket. I got this, it was in the kit. Let me see, it says the 2020 Advent Calendar mini set from Trilogy Yarns. So all the yarns is Trilogy Yarns, the mini skeins. And for each little set, you use 2 mini skeins, and you make 4, and that pretty much uses up all of the yarn. And then it's like a pinwheely type blanket, so then you seam them all together. So I have been working on that, and I also got half of one done. So these are fun little things, and they make you, it's nice because you feel like you finished something. And I can do one in about an hour or so, maybe less. If I really paid attention, I could probably do it a lot faster, but I don't know, about an hour, 30 minutes or an hour, somewhere in between. And then, yeah, you just knit them all and then you seam them all together. And I'm going to basically knit all of the squares, and then I want to block them and then seam them together. And I think what I'm going to do, because I pretty much run out of yarn. I mean, some of the yarns, I have a little bit of a nugget left over, and some of them I don't have that much. So I think I'm trying to decide if I'm going to get like a neutral color to seam the squares themselves together, and then I have a full skein to do a little border, or do some kind of a border with. So I think I'm going to get like a neutral color, like a cream or something, to sew them all together. And I don't think that it'll really show, but I don't know, because I don't know. But anyway, I think I'm going to do that, and then after they're all blocked, it'll probably be easier for me to seam them together, and I can just make sure that they're blocked the same way. But yeah, seaming is not my favorite thing to do, but there's this wonderful thing called YouTube, and I'll get a lot of practice with this, and so I don't want to say I don't want to do it, because I think that it's good practice for things that you seam, like garments and things like that. So, yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to that, learning a new skill. But I got lots to go before that happens. I'm keeping it in this Christmas bag. It's, I put it in the Christmas bag because it was the Advent calendar minis. And I believe this is from Bags by Awesome Granny. Yeah, Bags by Awesome Granny. She makes awesome bags. It's got polka dots on the inside. But I just had to have these little gnome elf thingies. I also pulled this thing out. This is another Friends Supply bag that I got. I have not worked on this in a long time because it takes a lot of brain to do it. And it's a lace weight shawl called the Keishi Shawl. That's what it's supposed to look like. And it's by... who's it by? Keishi Shawl, from the book Ultima Thule, Ultima, and then Thule. Patterns inspired by the Shetland Islands, designed by Denise Bell of Lost City Knits. So she had a booth at some yarn festival in Atlanta. Can't remember what it was called. And I bought the yarn and the pattern because I fell in love with the yarn. It's Lost City Knits. Oh, Lost City Knits. And the colorway is Cruise. And it's 1,000 yards and 100 grams. So it's lace weight. And since the last time you saw it, I have finished a repeat of something. This is a labor of love, this shawl. I put in a lifeline and I knit from the lifeline up. So that's been one repeat. And it's 18 rows, this repeat. But it has, I don't know how well you can see, but it has this little fish, well, they call it cod and current. So it's like a little fishy kind of thing. I guess I'm doing it right. So it's charted. I'm knitting it on my Chalgu needles. It's charted, and for this section, you have an A chart and a B chart because they're like mirror imaged. But yeah, I've gotten a lot done. I mean, that's so nice. So I've done 3 repeats now, and you have to do 6 just in this section. Wait. And then there's another section after that. So this section's the biggest part of the body, and then I think the next section is kind of like the edge. So 3 down. I need to move the lifeline because I have the right number of stitches and everything, and I always mess up somewhere, but I need to move the lifeline up and knit on that some more. But this is definitely a project where it needs to be silent, or I have to really think and count, because I'm looking at the chart, and it's, yeah, I have to really concentrate. I can watch something on the back row because it's purl, and you just purl across. I still have to be careful because there's a lot of yarn overs, obviously. So I have to make sure that I don't drop a yarn over because it'll mess up the whole stitch count, one, and the way it looks. But it's easy to miss that when you're, and because it's lace weight also, sometimes the yarns get on top of each other, and I have to make sure I don't like purl 2 together by accident and mess up the count. I have I'm itching here. It's just looking much better. I had something bit me 2 places, one right there and one there, and those look like normal bug bites, just really itchy. But this one has me worried because it's not as red. It's getting better. It's been about 4 days. Well, it's been about 6 days now. But this one was really red. I think you can kind of tell it had a big ring around it, and that worries me as to what it is. But I don't know what bit me. It's a thing. But it's getting better, but it still itches. Hopefully it wasn't a tick or something. I didn't see a tick. But that would be bad. I'm going to the doctor this month. The month of June, I'm actually going to 2 doctors. I'm going to see a regular primary care doctor. And this is just random. You know, for blood work, you know, health checkup, establish care with someone in case, you know, I like get strep throat and I need to call them or go in and I don't have to go to urgent care or something. Also, I need someone that can refill my albuterol, my inhaler. I don't use it a whole lot. I probably should use it a little bit more than I do. But yeah, so I need someone to do that. And so yeah, I'm establishing care. I got a new job, new insurance. Means I have to go to a new doctor. But I'm also going to see a naturopathic doctor. And I'm really excited about that. They're expensive. But the reason they're expensive is because they don't take insurance. And I can go into more, if you're interested in that, they're not like licensed or like a medical doctor is or whatever. It's just different training. They do more natural remedies. So vitamins, minerals, herbs. To me, it's a little bit more holistic. And we use these naturopathic doctors a lot at my previous job for the patients to help them with their symptoms and prevent some of their things. And like they would recommend giving that they take something called astragalus, and that helps keep their white blood cells up and things like that. And they really are helpful. We have to be careful because some of the supplements can, interfere with your liver and things like that, like anything else. The thing is they're not like as researched or whatever. So, you kind of, I don't know. I think it really made a big difference for a lot of our patients. But anyway, I called one of them. I was like, hey, I really want to go see you. And she's like, well, actually, you need to go see a colleague of mine because of where she currently works. And they have like a private practice. And they actually have nurse practitioners who work there as well, because we can prescribe certain medications and things like that. So, anyway, I'm going to go because of a few things. I have fatigue a lot, but also I have a lot of tummy issues. And, I've had my gallbladder removed. I've done so many different things, and I can't figure out what's causing it. So I wanted to go and meet with them and see, like, what's a good regimen or what's something I can do to try and figure out tummy issues. Anytime I talk to like a primary care doctor, they want to refer me to a GI person, and they want to, do EGDs and colonoscopies, and I've had all that stuff, and they took my gallbladder out, and it's helped some, but it hasn't, a lot of my other symptoms are still there. So, I wanted to go see somebody who could give me a little bit more insight and recommend some supplements. I think some probably like probiotics and things like that. And I've tried different ones over and I don't know. I just want to go see somebody and get some more information about what things I could work on, what things I can take, vitamins and things like that I should take, which ones I don't need to take. And so I'm seeing one that kind of specializes in GI stuff at this particular clinic. And I can talk to them. It's like you get a 2-hour consult initially. So they seem pretty thorough. So I'm sure they're going to want to do some tests, but I'm going to tell them I need to do those through where I work so that it's paid for. But one thing I am interested in is doing a food allergy testing and see if there's a certain food that I'm allergic to. I've tried cutting out certain things. Like I don't drink regular milk anymore. I drink lactated milk, and that helps some. But yeah, it just, we'll see what happens. We'll see. I'm hopeful though. I'm really optimistic that they're going to find something that can be helpful for not only my tummy issues, but also energy, especially since I had COVID. There's days when my fatigue is so bad. Like I literally, there's some days I'm great. I'm up, I'm running 3 miles. I'm good. But then other days it's like, I just can't. It's like 3 o'clock and I just want to go to bed. And I could sleep all the way till the next day and still feel tired. So it's just weird. So I don't know, maybe they can help out with some of that. I don't know. So I'm going to go see them. But anyway, I rambled on about that enough. But I really just, I think they can be helpful. I also have been knitting on one other thing, and I was so excited. This is in one of my favorite little bags. It's from the Naughty Knitting Sacks. It's a fun little thing here. The inside is where the naughty is. And it just has some male genitalia of all shapes and sizes on the inside. So this is Trilogy Yarns, and it's one of a kind colorways that I bought because it's Why wouldn't I? But this is it was a sock set, and it's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. The full skein has 400 yards. The mini skein is 100 yards or 25 grams. And this is the mini skein. I'm going to do heels and toes with this color. And I just love them, so I had to get them. But I cast on some socks because I need socks. When I was looking, I have a lot of socks. Some of them don't fit properly because I was, new sock knitting, and yeah, and then some of them are just getting where they're old. And yeah, so I was like, I need to start knitting myself some more socks. They're easy. Sometimes when I'm in class, I can knit them, social knitting, whatnot. So I cast these on over the weekend. So I've done it's about 15 rows, 1 by 1 twisted rib. So a twisted rib, if you don't know, is where you knit the knit stitch through the back loop, and then you purl like normal. And it causes it to kind of do like this. And I just really like how it stands out. I like that look a lot better, especially in a 1 by 1. But it's very stretchy. I did a, what is it? Oh my gosh. What's the cast on you do? Where you do like this? I can't, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of the cast on. But I did that one. So it's good and stretchy. And then I'm just doing, actually, the vanilla latte pattern. And I meant to look up who that's by. Darn. Man, who did that? I can't remember, but it's a great pattern, especially it keeps your interest, and it gives a little bit of something to the sock besides just stocking stitch. And I think they look great, so I'm gonna keep working on these. The yarn is so nice. It's so nice when you're knitting with good yarn, and there's just something about the way it moves through your fingers that it just feels so good. I love the way that feels when you have a yarn that it's just so smooth through your fingers. Then it just feels really nice when it's on your feet and on your skin. So I'm excited to knit more socks. I need to knit some hats for my patients, but I'm having a hard time. Maybe whenever I get in my new apartment, most of my yarn is in a little trunk, a cedar chest, and I can't exactly see everything that's in there. And I don't exactly want to pull everything out to look for it, but I also don't want to buy new yarn. So I'm having a hard time like pulling out things, because I really need, especially while I'm in school, to just have shorter term small projects on the needles. I don't need to have a sweater and things like that on the needles right now, because I have that lace knitting if for whatever reason I want to be cerebral and in my knitting. I have that, and then these socks, and then those little mini squares for the blanket. Like, that's the kind of stuff I need. And hats would be great too, because I can finish them in a day or less. So I can sit down and spend a couple hours knitting like on a Saturday morning, and in a couple weeks I'll have it done, right? And that's feels nice. Instead of knitting on something and then you feel like it's just never getting done, especially when you have a lot of things to do in your life, like school and work. And I'll also be teaching a class. I just found out, it's exciting. I will be teaching a class on Wednesdays. It's a introduction to college class kind of thing. So they have like little modules they have to do, and like it's really not teaching. It's not teaching content, I don't think. It's just kind of, whatever, life skills or something. I don't 100% know because I haven't been through the training to know what modules there are. I know one of them is like you go on a tour and like help the students find out like where to find their resources for things, like the library, that kind of stuff. So I have 2 sessions, and they're Wednesday. It's like one's at 2 to 3:15, and then a 3:30 to 4:30 or something like that. I can't remember. I know I got to start at 2, and I think they're going to be on campus. Luckily, I'm hoping work will continue to be flexible for this semester, so I can leave early from work to get over there in time to teach, but still work half a day at least at work. So I'm going to be doing that on Wednesdays, plus working, plus school. So it should be, and then it's crazy. And then also trying to recruit patients to be on my study. So there's a lot going on in my life. When I say everything like that, it's a lot. It's overwhelming. And that's not all the things that you do in the classes that have to be done in the papers and stuff. So I try not to look at that much. Like one thing at a time is what I try to do. It's all I can do. So anyway, but it's allowing me to not take out student loans to get this degree. I have not taken out any student loans. I have not been able to save as much money as I had hoped, because I'm paying, a lot of money, out of pocket to go to school and for my books and things like that. So anyway, I'm rambling about school and all that. But anyway, it's a lot. All of that to say is I need short-term, smaller projects. Plus, it's hot outside. Well, it's going to start being hot outside, I think. And I don't particularly want a big thing in my lap whenever I'm hot-natured all the time anyway. So I don't necessarily wouldn't want this sitting in my lap, which is why I rushed to try to finish it. I wouldn't want the sweater to be sitting in my lap while I'm trying to knit and it be that hot. Granted, I have AC in my house and it's the best, and I love it. But I still don't want that on my lap. So short-term projects is what I need. And I'm hoping when I get moved and I have I can put my yarn on a shelf where I can see exactly and remember what I have, that I'll be able to like pick up some more of those, worsted weight skeins, some of the hand spun, and like really get some hats going. So I just want to talk to you about one more thing, I think. And I've been reading, but I don't, what have I read? Well, I read, Chain of is it gold or iron? It's the second book in the newest Shadowhunter series by Cassandra Clare. I think it's Chain of Gold. It could be Chain of Iron, though. I can't remember. Maybe it's iron. But anyway, oh, it was so good. I finally finished it. It had me so frustrated. Like, not the book, but the things happening, and there's just so many. I don't want to spoil it, but there's so many things, and so many things keep happening, and like right when things could get better, something happens, and then everybody's just like on a different page, and this happens, and then this happens, and you think things are going to get resolved, but something else happens, and you're just like, like you just want everybody to be happy. And Cassandra Clare is just ripping your heart out. So I really enjoyed reading that. I finished that. And I still plan to make sure that I spend time reading every night before bed, even if it's just a little bit. That is helping me get through a lot of books, but also it's a good way to kind of wind down before bed. So, yeah, I'm going to keep doing that. But I finished that book, and I am reading another book currently. It's around here somewhere. But I'll talk about that one when I finish. It's pretty good. It's nothing like life-changing or whatever. But it's a good little, like, mystery, thrillery kind of book. But the book I did read that I want to tell you about is the most precious, heartwarming, beautiful little book I've ever read. And it's my favorite book of all time. Now, this is my favorite book. And I wish I had this book when I was little. And if I have children, I will read this to them all the time. And anybody who I know who has a child, I've already ordered some more copies of this book. Will be getting a copy of this book because it is so precious. And if you've never heard of it, I don't care if you're 500 years old, you need to read this book. And it's called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. And oh my gosh, it's just so simply beautiful and profound, and for something to have just the smallest little content on the pages, it's the biggest statements. I don't know how to say what I want to say. They're just short little sentences that are the most profound, beautiful things ever. And everyone should read this. It looks like a big book, but it's not. Literally, it's just got a lot of pictures. Like most of the pages are like that. And I just love the little sketches in it. And I just love it. It really is a good book. Like, I never thought I would say like something like this would be my most favorite book in the whole wide world, but this is, and it's really special, and you need to read it. If you have kids, grandkids, you need to read this to them. If you have grown adult children, you need to make them read this or read it to them. I don't care. It's so good. But yeah, and I just love this. It's just filled with love and kindness and just pure joy. And yeah, get this book. My nose is itchy. I need to take some allergy medicine. maybe that's why I'm tired a lot. It's my allergies. Could be. I don't know. It's been a lot of allergies this year. Random. Can you see? This is how my brain is. I think I have ADD in my brain. I shouldn't say that because there's people who really have ADD, and it's really can be a really hard thing to live with. But my brain just goes and thinks a lot of things at one time, and a lot. And I think that's why I enjoy knitting so much and reading, because when I'm just thinking about things and not doing or focusing on things, people with ADD or ADHD, they have a hard time focusing on things, and I don't have a hard time focusing. But when I'm not focusing, my mind thinks about a lot of different things. I can be having a conversation, but be thinking about A, B, and C, and they kind of go into like ooh, squirrel. But I think that's why I like knitting and reading, because when I'm reading or knitting, especially knitting, and something like the Keishi Shawl, I really have to think and focus. And my mind is just right there in that moment. It's not all over the place thinking of the 50 things I need to be doing. And that's good for you. It's not good to have always 50 things scrambling around in your brain. It causes stress and anxiety, and it's not healthy. So it's important for me to continue, even when I'm really busy, to take the time to, like I said, read, even if it's just 30 minutes before bed, or get up on a Saturday and Sundays, and do some knitting while I have my coffee, even if it's just an hour. And then, like when I cycle, I love cycling and hiking, but that doesn't turn my mind off. I actually think of a lot of things when I'm cycling, or when I'm running or hiking. My brain is thinking still, because I don't have to focus. I need to focus that I don't run into somebody on my bike or trip over a rock, but that's kind of automatic. Sorry, my mom called. She's having a tree cut down in the yard, out of the yard, because it's dead and it's gonna fall on the house. So anyway, I can't remember what I was saying now. Oh, I think I was talking about when I cycle, my brain doesn't cut off. I get a lot of thinking done, and that's why I like to knit and read, because I can focus on just that. I think that's what I was saying. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna let you go. I've just been rambling here, and I really need to get some work done. I don't wanna, but I need to. I will thank myself. My future self will thank me later. um, yeah, so I'm gonna go and do a little bit of that, and hopefully I can get. Well, I don't have internet here. There's internet, but I don't know the password. No one remembers the password, so I can't get on the internet. So once I get home, this will probably be uploaded on Tuesday or so. I will get that uploaded. So I'll work on this schoolwork until then, and just sit out and look at the lake. That's been really, really relaxing. But anyway, I'll insert a little bit of footage there for you to see, and hope you enjoy it. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're staying safe. Continue to wash your hands, cover your mouth, that kind of stuff. And I'll see you all very soon, I hope, in a couple weeks or so, depending on how school goes. But, yeah, stay well, stay happy, go read this book. Bye.